To further discuss this emerging new variant from India, we have with us Dr. Karl Henson from the Philippine Society for Microbiology and Infectious Diseases. Dr. Henson, welcome to The Big Story.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me.
Maybe, Paul, let's start by maybe you could expound on what we've heard so far from the news. What do we know and what do we not know at this point about this Delta Plus variant?
Oh, you're talking about Delta Plus. I think there needs to be a differentiation there, you know. So the big thing now, the variant of concern that we're talking about and we're worried about, is not Delta Plus but Delta variant. Delta variant is the predominant variant of SARS-CoV-2 in the UK now, and it's emerging as a problem in the United States. The Delta Plus variant, if that's what you're asking about, there's, like Dr. Cutionco de la Paz said, there's an additional mutation, and it seems to be making the virus more transmissible. But also, like she said, we don't really know a lot about the Delta Plus variant at this time. It seems to be limited to India. And from what we know, it emerged just because there were so many cases there. I think that's a very important point to make. Variants will emerge if there are a lot of cases. So the solution is really to try and bring down the number of cases. So we don't really know a lot about the Delta Plus variant yet.
Now, in the meantime, all of these variants, particularly with Delta and now the Delta Plus, is reigniting conversations about restricting travel into the country. What is the wise thing to do and to consider there?
I do not presume to know about the wise thing to do. I recognize that that is a very, very complex decision-making process. There is diplomacy involved, there is politics involved, but talking about just health, and the scientific issues, the less that we welcome into our borders, the better. Because right now, all we know, from what we know, the Delta variants that we have in the Philippines, they have all been imported. That means they have the virus infected Filipinos. These Filipinos arrived on our shores. They were quarantined, and that's how we found out that they had the Delta variant. So as far as we know at this time, there is no community transmission yet of the Delta variant. So if you're asking me about just the health part, then blocking off any entry is the best way to go. But we also need to recognize that the decision to close the borders comes with much more implications. So right now, I think that DOH is doing a good job. Border control, meaning the quarantine system is working so far. All as we said, the Delta variants that have been caught, they were able to complete quarantine and they got better. The last I know, there's only one person who remains in the hospital. So good border control, I think, is at least at this time, the best way to go.
Okay, Dr. Karl Henson of the Philippine Society for Microbiology and Infectious Diseases, maraming salamat po.